Hey guys, Defective Detective here, and today I'm back with a new video. In today's video, what we are gonna do is basically the difference between let, const, and var. So now you might have often seen let, const, and var being used in various programs and stuff, but you might be wondering the difference between them, and today we can do that. Okay, so let's get started. So first let's just make a file named index.js. I've already made something like a project. So yeah, before that, let me just give you a bit of an intro. Initially, JavaScript had only one keyword to declare variables, which was the var keyword, and the var keyword soon was found out to be on the buggier side, on the buggy side, and hence we got const and let. Okay, so first let's just do this code. If true, then we are going to declare a variable called my variable var equals, let's say this is true, and we make another variable, and wait, what? Yeah, so we make another variable and we are declaring it with let instead, and it will be my variable let. Okay, and it will have the same value. Now if we console.log it, then we are gonna get my variable var, and this will be console.log my variable let. So if we do this and then we are gonna run this. So see, we get an error. So basically, let me explain what's happening. So let is a block scoped variable. So basically, it is kind of like restricted, or its validity kind of is only inside these, like inside these curly braces. So if we like do console dot log my variable, my variable let, and then we run this function again. So see, this is the second time it actually logs it out. So it is variable, like it is, how do I put this? It is valid here and it is not valid here. So that's the thing. So it is kind of like local scoped, and this is not exactly global scoped, but it is function scoped. So if you say that if I put it under function some function and tried this, then I am obviously going to get an error, which already my VS Code shows. So I will get an error. And this is the reason why that the scoping is function scope, while this is block scope. So block scope basically means that if it is inside some conditional, so it will be only valid inside the conditional. Okay, so this is a thing. Now you might be thinking that function scoped variables are often better, and like in some specific cases, yes, they are indeed better, because if you refactor code from from var, using var keyword, or using var as a to work, then you are obviously going to get how do I put this, like you are going to have to just put a null or something like let where var is a variable, and if you wanna work with if else if, so then you have to do kind of like this. Oh wait, let's say 0 equals 0 or not. So then you will do variable equals this is true, and or else you are gonna do variable this is false. If you like have some kind of program, this will be harder obviously, but it is worth it, which I will show you now. Now you can you can assign, or you can actually declare, exactly, if you want to put it like that, declare a variable multiple times in var. So if let's say var my variable equals 10, and we try my variable again equals 100, and then console.log it my variable, then what we'll get is 100. So basically you can, like, instead of reassigning, which we normally do, you can redeclare it. If you try this with let, you get an error. So it has already been declared, right? So this is a major mistake, which or major bug, which I think probably made them shift from var, using var in JavaScript, and to the creation of let and const. And this is probably the reason, as we can already see, because let's say you are coding and you just didn't know that let's say you have a function called something new, and you were, let's say, working with a variable, with the value of a variable, my variable, and you need to change it, or you just needed to change it, but instead you just made it var my variable instead. That will overwrite it, and it can really lead to some design bugs, which were probably or mostly unintended. Now coming to const for a while, const is basically to declare constants. So like, let's say you have something in your program called my constant, and it has to be defective detective is recording video, and you will probably not change it, then you should use const. So basically let allows you to do is, let's say, let my variable true, and now you want to assign it false. Let's say, for example, it can work for any value, and you want to console.log it. Also you want to, let's say, you want to mutate, or you want to change the value of my constant to 100, or let's say he is lying, I don't know. Okay, I forgot to log it, but you already got the error. So assignment to a constant variable, as I said, it is to, like, you should use it to get constants and like set constants and stuff, so that you know that the value of this is not going to change. However, value might not change, but this might, like, the properties might change. Let's say you have my object, and this prop is hello world. Let's just put it like that. Then you can obviously mutate, or let's just console.log it first, and if you, let's say, you want to change the value of my object, then this prop is, let's say we make it Jello world. Let's just make it like that, and we could just console.log it my object. So you can see that in the first log statement we get hello world, and in the second one we get Jello world. You can even make your own like that prop. So you got a dat prop, so a new property. So basically it just does not let you reassign something as compared to what you can do with let and var. So let me just show you again. So we have const var or const variable con is high. Next we have let variable let equals hello, and we have var variable var as by or something. So if we first, let's change a variable var to, I don't know, just I'm putting a random value, then we could change let to, I don't know, ole, and we could just try to change, just for fun. So if you try this assignment to a constant variable, we already saw that, but you see you can reassign variable, like variables declared with var and variables declared with let, but not for const. So that's it. And there is one last bug which is kind of irritating, so let's just do that first, last. Let's say my variable. You see I haven't declared it anywhere, so it should throw an error. Okay, it throws an error. So now let's just assign it myself. Let me just assign it myself, and let me just make it my variable. I am too lazy to put it on the top, so hello, hi, actually, see, so we cannot access it before initialization. So let's try it with const. Again, we cannot do that. So basically it is kind of like a security check. You can say that since the program goes line by line, so it will obviously do that, or it will obviously, if you don't initialize it before that, it should obviously be null or undefined, and the JavaScript compiler, the Node.js compiler does not want that, or in compiler, JavaScript compiler does not want that. Okay, so yes, not here, and we just make it var, and what we see is undefined. Like seriously, we get undefined, and just think how much potential bugs are possible by this. And also if you are working, let's say, in an advanced IDE or in just any proper IDE, and you did this, let's say you have a large chunk of code, because probably you're not going to be making small programs, and you will be working with working in large projects. So obviously you will rely on some IDE, and also the variable declarations will be pretty far. You might not realize that you are calling a variable before you are working with it, or before you are even initializing it. It might happen. And so let's say we have two uppercase. See this? However, the IDE IntelliSense and everything just shows you that yes, you can do it, but the moment you run this, it will kind of throw an error. And if you're, let's say, you cannot call any methods, everything is just undefined, and that will be a major design flaw if you work with it. So I personally would say that you should prefer const the most and var the least, like least. Let is somewhere in between. So basically you can just say that use const wherever you do not have reassignment, because as you already saw, you cannot reassign const, so you'll obviously have a big problem if you try to use it, like if you try to do that. And if you're working with TypeScript, I think it will already like throw an error before you even compile it. So yeah, next, if you have to reassign, then you should try to use let. So basically, like let's say you have for loops, so let's say like for let I equals 0 and I less than 10, I plus plus, and console.log I. Let's say you have a program like that, then you absolutely have to use a let. If you try to use const and use the fact that you can change properties, that would be just a lot of spaghetti code, right? So if you like make one approach could be const let obj equals number and you could just I don't know, what am I doing, like obj dot number, wait, I'm doing it a bit wrong, I think, obj dot number equals 0. Let's just try this out. Okay, seriously, I forgot to remove that. Okay, what? Oh yeah, sorry. Okay, I really am like, if you really go like overboard with the fascination of const, like you will be working with this kind of program, and if you see this, literally it is the worst thing you can ever do. Object dot number all the time, not good. And if you try to use some other way, it is going to be lengthy. So yes, you should obviously use let in this case. So like don't get too obsessed with that, because I personally was for a while, like knowing that const is the best one or is the most preferred one, but let also has its uses. Var, like think as many times as you can before using var, because like you already saw that like the major bugs which I already told you guys, if you use that, you will be in some hot water, because like